this is your astrology for August 2016. Please support me by subscribing to my channel. I'll be ever so grateful if you do. This month starts with a grand trine in water. So for you, immediately you're going to focus on the emotional side of things here. What you're going to notice particularly is your relationships and what you're trying to communicate in your relationship. So you may feel a little bit frustrated that you're not getting your point across, or that people aren't listening to you the way you would like them to listen, and it may feel a little bit uneasy at the beginning of the month. On the 2nd of August, the new moon occurs, and that happens in Leo at 8:46 in the evening based on Greenwich Mean Time. That happens in your 12th house, and this is really beautiful for you, Virgo, because the new moon is when energy is pulled in, and for that roaring lion energy to be pulled in your 12th house means that you have fabulous, amazing, great spiritual strength. You also have Venus in Leo in your 12th house, so you're loving, you're courageous, you're confident, you have energy, and you will really go into the month with a lot of power, because remember, the new moon is pulling energy in to complete its next 28-day cycle, so you will have that roaring lion energy with you spiritually for the duration of August. On the 3rd of August, Mars goes into Sagittarius, and that happens in your 4th house. Mars is the planet of desire, what you want, what you're not going to compromise on, and it's in Sagittarius, so it will now feel much easier to make progress, especially when it comes to your family relationships. I think those will be important to you. You'll be looking at those, and there'll be a desire to improve your relationships with family and people who are friends to the extent that they are family, okay? It's people who are really, really close to you. On the 4th of August, the moon starts to conjunct Venus and Mercury, and that happens in your 1st house. There's a lot of personal energy in your sign of Virgo at the moment. The moon is in Virgo. Mercury, your ruler, is in Virgo. That's very positive. So you feel like yourself. You feel like you can communicate with yourself. Jupiter, the lucky planet, also is in Virgo. It's been in Virgo for pretty much most of the year now. It leaves and it goes into Libra on the 9th of September. So really make the most of this final month with Jupiter on your side. But with the moon kind of moving up towards Mercury and Venus here, this is a day where you feel very at ease. The unease, the sense of frustration you had with communication at the beginning of the month on the 1st, that's totally gone now. You feel totally at peace, like you're getting the respect that you deserve. You can get your point across in the way you want to get it across, and things feel really, really good. So it's a great day to spend with family or friends, or to do whatever it is you enjoy, because it's a day where your insides match the outsides very nicely. On the 5th of August, Mars starts to conjunct Saturn, and this is really important because these two stay in this relationship now until the 7th of September. Mars, I've said, is the personal planet of desire, but Saturn is an outer planet, and it moves very slowly, and it's the very, very masculine, very strong, very rigid energy of the authority figure, of the father, of the things that are in place that are unshakable and non-negotiable. And for these two men to come into your 4th house of family really means that this is an unshakable, non-negotiable desire that you've got, that you will move forward with, okay? So what this relates to particularly is if you're someone who's never met your birth family, or if you're adopted and sometimes you've wanted to meet your birth family, sometimes you haven't, This is a month when family and what it is you want will be super, super strong, okay? So if there is anything outstanding, if there are unresolved issues, be aware that in August you will have a great, powerful desire to resolve those issues, and that will stay in place until the 7th of September. On the 6th of August, great news, because Venus, the planet of love and beauty, goes into your sign of Virgo in your 1st house. So love happens the way you like it to happen. Love is organized, love is open, you know where you're at with the other people, people are communicative and share their feelings, you like things to be as they seem, okay? And you can express your love in a way that comes across very well. People understand you, and if you're trying to build a future with someone, it's perfect to really present yourself in a way that other people can understand, but also that is a true reflection of who you really are. And it's also likely, because Venus is in your sign of Virgo in the first, that love comes your way because you can really align yourself with the energy of love. And whenever you align yourself with something, you enter that stream of the universe, the stream of life, the stream of the cosmic consciousness, and that's where good things happen. On the 7th and 8th of August, the moon now moves into Libra in your second house, and it starts to square Pluto, which is in your 5th house. This is really positive because in a practical sense, through one of your working life colleagues or friends, or someone who's decorated your house, or someone who you've worked with, they give you some sort of tidbit of information that feels really useful in helping you transform your romantic life. So if you're in a relationship and there's been some sort of problem and you haven't been able to put your finger on it, if you discuss it today, you'll get the solution to the problem so that your romantic life can blossom and flourish again. If you're single and if you're looking for a partner, you will find the information either where to meet a right person, or you will understand that this is the person who's meant for you. Either way, it's a positive transformation of your romantic life and circumstances, and by putting in the legwork, you can create that change in your life. On the 9th then of August, the moon is now in Scorpio, and it starts to conjunct Black Moon Lilith in your 3rd house. Watch out for this day, because inner resentment, things that have been bubbling up inside that you haven't let go of yet, they could come up and you could really blast someone because you resent them. Okay, if they do one little thing that could set you off, and it's like years and years of resentment that you've hung on to, that you haven't let go of, and it's your responsibility to let go of resentment. Okay, it's you've drunk the poison hoping the other person will die. It doesn't work. That other person is still alive. You've poisoned yourself. It's really your job to detox yourself. It is not fair to put someone on blast because they're 5 minutes late and you're blaming them for something that happened 5 years ago. The 9th and 10th, watch out for that. Resentments will come to the surface. On the plus side, you're able to see them for what they are, and you can be done with them once and for all. So, to solve a problem, you have to recognize that it is a problem first. So you can do that and say, okay, I choose no longer to feed into this resentment. I'm going to let it go, wave bye-bye to it, and then it can leave. On the 11th of August, the moon conjuncts Mars and Saturn, and on the 12th, and these three are now sitting in your 4th house of family, and that's where you're going to feel most comfortable and most confident, and you'll be able to see a way forward. And what I'm actually getting intuitively is that a man and a woman who have been together, this is a good time to plan whether you're going to have children and to commit to actually having a child. The next day is even more helpful because Saturn now goes direct. Saturn is the unshakable, the solid, the foundation of your life. And when Saturn goes direct, you lose any anxiety or fear or sense of restriction or limitation, and you feel super confident, super grounded in yourself, and you can move forward with ease and confidence and grace even. And this has to do with family, okay? So do we want children? Do we want to get married? Do we want to move in together? Do we want a divorce? It's big, hardcore decisions that will affect the future of your relationships in a real world way. You're not going to be afraid of making those decisions. And I think it's more aligned with the positive side of things. I think it's about families growing bigger and becoming more together rather than splitting apart. It's okay to trust whatever you're doing in your relationships, how you're making them more solid. This is a really positive time for you. On the 14th of August, Chiron quincunxes the Sun, which is in Leo in your 12th house. And spiritually, you feel a great sense of strength that will allow you to see the good in other people that you haven't seen there before. So you're overcoming this resentment thing now, and you're really seeing things. It's almost like you may be a little bit apologetic because you were so resentful, and now you're deliberately looking for the good in people. On the 15th, Mars begins to square Neptune, and this is another one of those important relationships, okay? These two now form a relationship until the 4th of September. Neptune's in Pisces in your 7th, Mars is in Sag in your 4th. So the dream of what you can achieve in your family life, that is all you're interested in, and that's what you're going to pursue. So again, it's children, it's getting married. What do I want for this relationship? If you're single, it's great to identify what you want in your relationships. What is it that you want? I mean, I've been single and I sometimes think that I'm really clear on what I want, but then other times I realize I have actually no idea what I want and I'm just totally open to whatever would come my way. This is when you see the vision of what's happening, and it's important to have an idea of what you're looking for so that you can actually manifest it in the real world. This stays in connection to each other, Mars and Neptune, until the 4th of September. So dream it, see it, make it happen, manifest it, and move forward with it. If you're a single Virgo, hello, then it's a really good time for you this month to find a partner and to realize the dream. Oh, that's such good news. To realize the dream in terms of what you want. So it's very likely that you'll meet someone in this period between Mars and Neptune squaring, which is the 15th of August until the 4th of September. Hooray. On the 16th then, moving on to the next day, the moon is now in Capricorn and it's in your 5th house. It squares Uranus in your 8th. This is interesting because you will get an idea, something that you're doing at work will give you a sense of confidence and ease when it comes to your romantic life. And maybe through work that you get some sort of tidbit of information on how to progress with your romantic life. You know, what could that look like? If you're a telemarketer and you're talking to someone and they live in the same city as you and they said, oh, you know, I met my girlfriend at this club called Cindy's or whatever down the streets on block 8. Then you may have never heard of Cindy's on block 8. And since you're single yourself, you may say, hey, well, I'm going to try the same thing. Go to Cindy's and that'll help. So you'll get some information on the 16th that's going to be deliberately and specifically relevant to you in your personal search for love. On the 17th, the moon is now in Aquarius and it squares Black Moon Lilith, again in your 3rd. Okay, and the resentment that came up earlier in the month, you now learned something from that, and because it's humbled you in some way, you realize how you can be of service to someone else and how you can help someone, and that then even strengthens you more on a spiritual level because you're now aligning yourself with God and helping other people. The full moon occurs on the 18th of August, and this full moon is Aquarius, so that kind of humanitarian energy showers you, and you don't just think about yourself, but you think about how you can use your energy to help other people. This is an interesting time though, because there's an almost lunar eclipse. Some people are saying it's a lunar eclipse, some people aren't saying it's a lunar eclipse, because what happens is the moon moves through the Earth's shadow, but it doesn't get blocked out. Nowhere on Earth can you see it being blocked out. All you can see is the light of the moon being dimmed a little bit, okay? And that's the same thing here in the astrology. The sense of humanitarianism is somewhat dimmed by this lingering sense of resentment that you've had. In your case, it works very well because that niggling feeling is still there. Yes, okay, I can help people, but I can also be a real bastard at times and I've been really mean to these people. In your case, that humbles you even more and means that you can really, really help people and wear your heart on your sleeve and really be genuine. So you can be a bit of a do-gooder and, you know, at the same time, you're looking for love and it really all works very well together. You're presenting yourself genuinely, you're presenting yourself as you truly are. So the people who come into your life this month will get the real you. On the 19th and 20th, the moon joins Neptune, the south node in Chiron, in your 7th house, and intuitively, you will understand who is right for you, who isn't right for you, the people in your life who add something to you, and you can make a decision around who you want to continue with and who you don't want to continue with. You're very intuitive on these days, so trust your gut when it comes to other people, because that guidance will lead you a long way. On the 21st of August, there's a grand trine in fire. Passion, excitement, joy, enthusiasm when it comes to family and when it comes to your intimate, most close relationships, and the desire to really, again, structure things more, to make them more rigid, to make them more locked down, and to build a more solid foundation when it comes to your personal relationships. The sun goes into Virgo on the 22nd, so happy birthday Virgo. This is now your time. So now you've got the sun in Virgo, the north node in Virgo, Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury in Virgo. So with all of that personal, positive, loving, communicative, lucky energy in your sign, this is really your time of the year. This is when you shine. This is when things happen easily and positively for you, and things are going your way. So get out there, do as much as you can this month. It's really a fabulous, magical time for you. And on the 23rd and 24th, the moon goes into Taurus. Taurus is one of your friendly neighboring signs of the zodiac because you're an earth sign. Taurus is also an earth sign. And the moon on these couple of days, on the 23rd and 24th, means that you're very comfortable traveling, going on a little break, doing something physical, exercising, doing some sort of sporting event. Do it. You will really enjoy it. If you're living in the northern hemisphere, it's the perfect time of year to do it. It's summer, it's warm outside. Go do some sort of physical, practical exercise. That then trines the first house energy. So by doing this kind of activity, you'll really harness good luck, all of the good things that you're trying to bring into your life. On the 25th, there's a grand cross in the chart, okay? So this connects your desire now to work, to truly be yourself, to focus on your relationships, and to fulfill the dream in relationships. So for most people, this grand cross is really frazzling and somewhat overly. There are lots of different things going on at the same time. But in your case, it kind of ties up quite nicely in that you're trying to communicate yourself to strengthen your relationships. So again, for you, you can use this day to interact with people you're interested in a romantic sense, or if you're already in a relationship, to try and build more structure and security in your relationship and to express what you want to make it even better. It will go down well. Sometimes that doesn't go down well. You know, if you're with someone, you've been together 2 years and you say, hey, listen, I'm really not so happy with our sex life. I really wish we would do it, 4 times a week instead of once a month. Sometimes that doesn't go down well. But again, this is the kind of energy where you come across best and where other people are receptive to you and you can express things in a way that are palatable to other people. Sometimes you have to have a bit of luck to express yourself. On the 26th and the 27th, the Sun in Virgo now starts to conjunct the North Node in Virgo in your first house. Now the Sun is your identity. You feel very much at ease because it's in Virgo. And the North Node in Virgo is what you're trying to achieve on a soul level. So you specifically, Virgo, will start to understand where you're trying to go on a karmic soul level and where you truly are right now. It's almost like a mirage. When you see a mirage in the desert, the air kind of shimmers and then something appears. And you will experience this shimmering sort of effect, and you can look into this other dimension of your life and who you truly want to be on a soul level. And you can identify it and you can see it and you can make sense of it and you can embrace it and own it for yourself. Information for you is power. Knowledge for you is key, because once you have the information, you can take practical action to make it happen, to make it real. That is every Virgo's gift, that once they know what they're doing, they can do it. And it will become very clear what your soul purpose is and how you can get there and where you are now and what's missing. Those 2 days are magical for that kind of information to come in, the 26th and 27th. On the 28th, the moon begins to square Uranus. Uranus is in Aries in your 8th house. The moon is in Cancer in your 11th. What action, again at work, that will make you feel good about where you are in your life? Something happens at work that kind of shows you, are you in the right place or not? Trust that on the 28th. It will have, if you feel like, oh my God, I'm in exactly the right place at work, I'm doing exactly what I've always been meant to do, then you can trust that and you can put it to bed once and for all. It gives you a lot of energy when you have to stop questioning what your life purpose is. Finding out your life purpose takes a lot of mental energy, and hitting the nail on the head is liberating in itself, because then you can just get on with it and do it. On the 29th, the moon is now in Leo and it squares your rising sign in Scorpio in your 3rd house. So communication is very good. This is when you can be most intense in a romantic way, when you can really express all of your strength of spirit. If there's something very painful which you haven't been able to resolve or communicate ever, today's the day when you can do it, and you can get rid of it once and for all. And this is a process of bringing up resentments and clearing them. And this is the best day of the month to do that. On the 30th, Venus goes into Libra. So now you start to feel a little less empowered, and you start to feel a little bit more like you have to look towards other people, you know, your neighbor Libra. Things are less your way, and you become more interested in others now. Also on the same day, unfortunately, your ruler Mercury goes retrograde. It goes retrograde until the 22nd of September, and it's in your sign of Virgo. So this retrograde is going to be a powerful one. It's in your first house. So expect communication issues, expect things to slow down in your life a little bit. And that's why it's so important for you, Virgo, to make the most of August, because it's a magical, amazing month, but it comes to a screeching halt at the end of August with this retrograde. Things become complicated, there's miscommunication, things go awry. August is magical, and make the most of the month. It's a beautiful month for you. And then finally, at the end of the month, the moon goes into Virgo to prepare for the new moon, which happens on the solar eclipse, the new moon and the solar eclipse, which happen on the 1st of September. Now, this is a second wind for you because that new moon is in Virgo, so it pulls more of your energy in, and it mitigates the Mercury retrograde for the first couple of days of September. So the Mercury retrograde is in effect until the end of September, but with this new moon, there's so much Virgo-ness-ish running around that you won't feel the Mercury retrograde so much, so it'll mitigate it a little bit, okay? So communication and stuff will start to falter in September rather than straight away at the turning point between August and September. So I hope that gives you something to go on. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. We can talk about your soul purpose, your working life purpose, how you can become prosperous and abundant, how you can really thrive, what's going on with your love life, how you can make family relationships better. We can really look at any questions you may have. So please order that reading, gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. That is the easiest way you can support me. And I also do live readings on Facebook, facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Have a great month, and I'll speak to you soon.